here. I'm just writing every single detailed step. You could certainly jump to greater than 0.7368, then to 1 minus. I wouldn't want you to jump from here to there.
And then the inequality sign, how do you know to take away that or equal to that's under the first?
You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to, but because this is continuous probability, right? With these scores, not continuous probability, continuous distribution, continuous random variable, we know that greater than or equal to is the same thing as greater than. Because we don't have to here because it's continuous.
Would it be discrete?
No, because if you think about all the possible scores, we're going to have decimals. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's only so many possibilities. You can only get like you can get half a question. But if it
You're right. Well, okay, so you're right. But let me say this then. So in this scenario, when we start using a normal distribution, once you move to the actual distribution, whether it's discrete or continuous, they say the same thing. Right? Because if you try and say, if I said this, and you're looking at that distribution, what's the probability that it's just 90? 1 out of how much is under there?
if on that you start off with the rotation, I would start off. I used X, but instead of like going straight to the Z, I just went ahead and did 1 minus the probability, and then I didn't put any like variable for variance symbol. I just said 1 minus the probability, and then put the equation.
What equation?
90 minus 78.8 over 50.2, and then just wrote equals.
That's all you had in the parentheses, was just that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta tell me what that is. Because if you say that, you're really just saying, what's the probability of some number? Not even some variable equal to a number, just some number. Anything else there? Good? Okay. Let's move on to combining random variables. What's combination mean? If you combine things. Addition and subtraction. Addition and subtraction. When you're combining things, you're adding or subtracting them. Now please read what that says. You're combining random variables. So putting a random variable with another random variable. What is this not anymore? It's not a linear transformation anymore. We're going to take some random variable and add another random variable. It's like x plus y. Combining random variables. Combining random variables. Instead of writing, stop writing and listen. I'll give you some time to write. Try and understand this. You don't understand it because this isn't on the formula sheet. So much of the time when you see big formulas, they end up being on the formula sheet. This isn't. So if we're trying to calculate the mean or the variance or the standard deviation of the sum or difference of random variables, okay? So let's say we talked about this class's weights, right? And then I went next door and I got all of that class's weights, okay? So you guys have your mean and they have their mean. You have your standard deviation, they have their standard deviation. And then I was like, okay, what if we put you all together? What would the mean of both classes be? It's just the mean of both classes. Like if I said, okay, let's take everything and add them all together. It'd be the mean of both classes, right? Add it together. That's not what's going on here. So I got to use that differently. What's really happening here would be like if you paired up with each person over there and we added the two of you together. So let me say it different. Let's say there's a class over there exact same size as this class. And I'm like, okay, you've got an average weight in this class. They've got an average weight in this class. Now go over, find a partner, and the two of you add your weights together. Right? And then we take an average of that distribution. So we're combining these two together. So Carter's got a partner over there. Right? Sarah's got a partner over there. Andy's got a partner over there. So if we added your weights together and then we averaged all those sums of all of your weights, right? You've got a sum with your partner. You've got a sum with your partner. The mean of the new distribution would just be the two sums to begin with. If I said, okay, let's go over there and let's see how different you are than your partner. So Carter takes his partner and subtracts their weight from his. Sarah takes her partner and subtracts their weight from hers. If we wanted to know the mean of those differences, it'd just be the difference in the means. Those are easy to remember. Okay, if I combine two random variables, if I combine them with addition, their mean is just the addition of the means. If I combine them with subtraction, their mean is just the subtraction of the means. Hey, thanks. Where things change are here. Read and try and understand this. What's variation mean? How much things vary, right? So right now, your variation in this room is whatever it is, right? You've got some variation. Square root of it's standard deviation. If we throw in another classroom, what happens?
Variation becomes
Greater. There's more variation whether Carter adds his weight with his partner or whether Carter subtracts his weight with his partner. Because I'm including more people. And more people are going to make more variation. Does that make sense? Do you understand that? If we said like, okay, what's the average weight of this class and standard deviation of this class? Or we did the entire high school. Wouldn't you expect the entire high school to vary more than this class? So notice in both of these, whether we are adding two random variables or subtracting them, the variation always increases. Don't miss that. Now I'll give you time to write. Nope. That's okay.
And what's the difference?
What do you mean, what's the difference?
What's the difference between the top and the bottom one?
The top and the bottom?
There are
The
none.
third and fourth one.
It's $100.
Well, I wouldn't be asking you if I knew the difference.
But I just told you you're not gonna remember, because I just told you you didn't remember.
Got him.
I don't know.
You can't tell me, like, this is a word search on, or a difference finder on the newspaper, where you circle things that are different. You couldn't circle anything that's different from here to here?
Yeah.
Okay, what's different?
The minus sign in the fourth one,
Okay,
and then there's a plus sign in the third one. And that's the only thing different about it.
that is the only thing different. What does this say right here?
It's the standard deviation of x plus the standard deviation of y squared.
What do you call standard deviation squared? It's on the board, look around, you'll see it.
Oh, it's in chapter 3, isn't it?
Just answer my question.
I don't know.
It's on the board.
Is it the V word?
Yes, well, depends what V word you use. Yes, it is the variance. So, that says the variance of the sum of two random variables, any two random variables. It's just the sum of their variances. The variance of the difference of any two random variables is just the sum of their variances. Whether you are adding random variables or subtracting them, you will find the variance always by adding their variances.
So what's the difference?
What's the difference in what?
Why are there two different formulas that mean the same thing?
Because they're for two different occasions. If we add, hey, look, he walked in there and you started looking over here at me, at him,
Sorry.
instead of me when I'm trying to tell you how to pass your class. You told me I could have it.
So today I can have that.
No, I never said you could have that. You said you can have the credit card. I said you can borrow the calculator.
You could use it all gone. We just made a fair trade.
You said have.
I'm not looking at it.
Well, that's fine. All right. What's going on here? What are you touching? That's weird. Don't do that. I could just send you to the office. So you say. Did anybody see him give me his credit card?
No.
No?
I saw you did your credit card.
F minus. Anybody else?
What credit
Anybody
card?
else want to fail?
Wait, why are you here?
Great point, Tina. Andy, what's the difference in these two?
One has a
There's
plus
a
and
C
one
right
has a
there.
All right, let's talk. Stop saying just plus and minus. What's going on in this scenario?
Who actually gives a credit card?
I don't know.
I turned it into Lost and Found. I turned it into Lost and Found. No, I seriously did. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, you must like 30 seconds.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Like, I don't know how to...
What's going on here?
That's a great question. I don't have the answer for it.
Someone tell Andy what's going on in this scenario.
You're adding two weights together.
Adding two different variables.
That's what I said.
Okay. No, you said we're adding X and Y. What's going on here? Hey, don't touch my computer anymore. It's a serious statement. I know that we've been joking, but don't touch my computer. It's kind of like my pocket. I want your hand. Okay? Yes.
Then you're subtracting.
Okay. Random variables.
Variable.
We're finding the variance of the subtraction of two random variables.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whether you're adding them or not, what do you do with the variances?
You add them.
You add them together. So, do you do anything different whether you're adding random variables or subtracting?
No.
No.
Then what's the difference?
I don't know what you're asking, Andy. Is there a difference over here? No. Is there a difference over here? Yes. You do the same thing whether you're adding two random variables or not.
That's what he's asking. there's like on that side, there's no difference. And you got two lines that you typically apply to it.
Because you need to know it for both situations. If I just wrote this, would your question not be, what do I do when I'm subtracting?
Say that again?
No, sorry.
If I just wrote this, wouldn't you then raise your hand and go, what's the standard deviation when you, or what's the variance when you're subtracting two random variables?
Yeah, I'd probably ask that.
Okay, there it is.
I'll be as confused then, like, you see.
How about you just stay with it?
I'm like,
Let's just keep going, and then if you still have a question,
There.
can you give me an example, like when you would use
that's
it?
what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
All right. Two things you need to know. Hey, I really did turn it into lost and found. You can keep looking around.
Where's the lost and found at?
Student services.
You took the time.
I went down to lunch, thought, oh, this will be funny, and it in student services. I mean, it was lost. I shouldn't have your credit card.
But now it's found.
Now it is found. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound.
I wasn't joking. You really did.
All right. Here's what you need to know. You'll miss this on the next test if you listen to Caleb right now. Here. This right here, worthless. Don't write it down. It's not worthless. You'll see that if you take a higher level of statistics in college. You will not see this at all in this class. You don't need to know it. The only time you can do what we just did is if the two variables are independent. You'll only see independent variables in this class. Okay? So let's go down here. Here's what you need to know. The combined variance formula. What did I do with the variances? I added them together. Alright? The combined variance formula for independent random variables generalizes to even when I have more than two. So when I had two variables and I combined them, I added their variances. Don't you do it. So if I had three variables, what would I do? Add them together, add their variances. If I had 15 variables and I wanted to find the variance of all of them, I'd add them all together. Are you waiting for me to stop you?
I mean, I have lunch, so I'm kind of hungry. Do you have my card?
You pay with your credit card for lunch?
No, I just.
Oh, well then
I'm
it's not.
come back up to the third floor.
Oh, where you been?
Do you
Where'd you
really
come
have it?
from?
No, it's downstairs.
Is it really in student services?
Yes.
Where did you come from?
Coach Gates. I don't do it. I
Ooh.
tried. I gave up.
Okay. It's good seeing you.
You just gotta check student services.
I'm not going to stop it. So whether I have it or not, you're just going to have to stand there and wonder.
What do you have fourth block? You're good.
The guy has nothing to do all day and he's worried about walking up there. Plus you got that fancy credit card. We know you got money.
Yeah, I saw that watch.
You should have put it in the Pringle skin.
And have somebody steal his identity?
Steal.
On me?
Is it still in your left block?
No, no, no.
You don't say butt pop.
What am I supposed to call it?
Left
Back
back.
pop.
Our spot.
The only thing bad is him deciding to put his hand in my pocket.
He
Gross. Gosh.
He wanted your phone.
Alright.
You have it, right?
What is it?
So if there are 3 random variables or 5 random variables, you're just going to find the variance of each and add it together, no matter how many there are. Variance, you're always going to do what with the variances?
Add.
Add them. Whether you are subtracting random variables or adding.
So that right there, that bottom equation, basically, like, these equations basically just same thing as saying, like, just like x plus y plus z, that it's just,
Yeah, so a minute ago we were talking about weights in here, we were talking about this class, and the next class, and the next class. If I wanted to find the variance of all, it would be the variance of x plus the variance of y plus the variance of z. We did every class in the school, just did them all. Now, if we did every class in the school, but we're talking about mean, that changes, right? If it was the mean of this class and that class and that class added, we'd add all those means. But if it was the mean subtracted, we'd say that class minus that class minus that class. The mean does what you're doing to the variance. Variance you always add. Alright. Try a problem. You've done what I've done, we're wasting time. Completely one. You're not sure what to do. Look, you read, have an idea. Try and find a probability, the randomness like a male data is smaller than a female. How in the world would I do that? What's that? Probability of it? Okay, at least a start. Why is that not, okay, so what Greg said is helpful, and it is a start. You should have at least written that. But we can't stop there. Why is this not useful in its current form?
There's no numbers.
What's that?
There's no constant.
There's no numbers. How are you gonna check the male greater than the female? Where's the F in here? Right? Or how are you gonna check the F's less than N? Where's the M in here? Okay, so there's no numbers. So how can you write that so that there are numbers? I'm asking you to do algebra to what Greg wrote. Simple algebra.
72 variance.
You're plugging in mean? Were you plugging in mean values? Okay. But it's any random person. So could I pick this male over here?
Oh.
So let's don't go to actual values. But I do want to include numbers somehow. You know?
So like the probability that a male is 65 or
So
less.
you're putting a male at 65.
Or less, because that's the mean of the female. So like, and that's the average that a female would be. So if a female's like that or higher is 50%, and then there's like 72 or lower for male. So then, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but in my head it works.
I'm asking for simple
Yeah.
algebra, right? Now, make a number show up. Algebra. You know what algebra is?
Not the concept yet.
No, plugging in numbers. Don't plug in any more numbers. If you plug in, it does. But I don't need you to plug in. I'm asking you to do algebra. You've got an inequality there. If you plug in numbers, you're talking about one data. But we need to know about every single possible pair. This one guy and every single female, then this one guy and every single female, and this one and every single one, and this one and every single one, and this one and every single one. The comparison of every single possible guy with every single possible girl. Think about how many options there are, way more than you ever want to count. Even if there were just 20 daters, this one guy, we gotta compare him to all 20 females, then 2 with every all 20, and the third guy with all 20. So you can't give me a number for the guys. What? No? What did you keep saying? Combine what? Combine the variables. What do you mean combine the variables? I'm asking you to do algebra right here with an inequality.
Oh, subtract.
What?
Males minus the females. Subtract
Subtract what?
the females from males.
Subtract females from over here.
Yeah, like on the other side.
And so you have males minus females
It'd be greater than 0. 'cause
greater than what? What?
0.
0. Did a number just show up? Yeah. Did you add in a number? I said the whole time. You did algebra. You just subtracted f from both sides. It's an equation, inequality. So we want to know the probability that male minus female is greater than 0. Male minus female is just some distribution that you should know a lot about. Because what do you do? Combine them. So let's go over here and go, okay, let's look at, we need to look at a new distribution now. Male minus female. Let's give it a letter instead of writing both. What do you want to call it? Doesn't matter. Go with D for David, right? D. What is D? D, male minus female. So the distribution D stands for male minus female. So what we're really saying is we want to know the probability that D is greater than 0. Why? Because of what Greg said, we want the male to be greater than the female. How am I going to check that? Well, I can only check it with numbers. I can't compare variables. And I want to check all possible options. So I need to combine the two distributions. Because I want to look at every single possible male paired with every single possible female. Because it said randomly pick a pair. So I got to look at all possibilities. So you should be able to, over here, do this quickly. What's the mean of D? The mean of D. What are we going to do? Mean of D. Subtract the mean. When you subtract random variables, you subtract the mean. When you add random variables, you add the mean, but we're subtracting. So this would be the mean of the males minus the mean of the females, which is 72 minus 65, 7. On average, in the long run, after drawing out many pairs of randomly chosen daters, we get an average distance or difference of 7. Not only do we know that the average difference would be 7, we know that on average, males minus females would give me 7. So on average, in the long run, after looking at every possible pair, on average, what do we know? Not just
Males.
that the difference is 7, we know what?
Males are taller.
Males are taller, on average, by
7.
7 inches. How do we know the males were taller?
Because it's males minus female.
Because it was positive. Because it was males minus females. So if I get a positive answer, the male must have been taller. When are you going to get a positive number for D? When the male is bigger. When are you going to get a negative number for D? When the female is bigger. So if I get a positive number here, it's saying the male is bigger. So the average, when I've taken every single possible pair and averaged the differences together, I get 7. Meaning on average, the males are 7 inches taller than the females. What else do I need to find to be able to find a proportion of this? Standard deviation. On that last sheet, was there a formula for standard deviation? No, there was not. There were formulas for variance. Can I find standard deviation from variance? What do you do to variance to find standard deviation? All right, so to know the standard deviation of D, and I know that the variance of D would be equal to what? Where you get 7 from?
Alright, any standard deviation.
That's what I want to do. So we've got to add the variance. Even though we're subtracting here, even though we're combining random variables with subtraction, we've got to add the variances. And this is the example you were looking for. Because D here stands for M minus F. But to find variance, we're still adding. Because when I throw in females with the males, it's varying more. Right? Of course it is. There's just however many guys. Does it say who they are? No. Let's say there's 20 guys. When I throw in 20 more girls, it's not 40 now. Because every single guy is paired with all 20 females. Right? So it's not 40, it's 20 times 20. There's tons more variance. So it will always increase. So from here, the variance is, what was the first one? The first variance 4?
Yeah.
So standard deviation.
Standard deviation is 4. So what's the first variance? 16. If you just add the standard deviations, you're going to miss the problem. Because this is variance. There was no formula for standard deviation. But be careful that you didn't say 4 plus 3. I get why you did, but don't do it again. Because we're adding variances here. What's the variance of the females? 9. So the variance of the differences of male minus female is 25. And I know that the standard deviation of D would be the square root of the variance of D, which is the square root of 25, which is 5. And
Why does D equal N minus F?
way back here, did you understand why we're checking to find the probability that the male is taller than the female?
Yes.
Okay. Did you understand that if I subtracted the F over, let's say male minus female is greater than 0? Well, so I'm just replacing that with a variable, so I don't have to keep writing N minus F.
I still don't get that. Where you're getting, like, it looks like. Can you just explain that a little more?
Looks like what?
I don't know.
Do you understand why I'm subtracting here? Okay. Do you understand that step?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't solve that because there's no number in this problem. Right? And so I've got to do something to it to get a number in the problem, but I can't just plug in a number.
Yeah.
Because plugging in a number for a male represents one male.
Yeah, well, I get why the zeros in there, I just can't like interpret like how you got from there to.
To here,
Yeah.
I'm just calling this D. I could have left it in, I didn't have to do that. But if I didn't do that, any just would say in mindset. Go ahead, Chris. It's just calling in mindset. I could have left it in mindset over there, and nothing else would have changed. Okay? It's just me writing in shorter version. I'm not saying you did it completely, but do you feel better about it?
Yeah.
Okay, alright, so from here, I had to find standard deviation. To find standard deviation, I had to work with the variances. Again, these formulas are not on the formula sheet. The variance of D, I know variance always increases when you put in more variables. So because of males and females, I added variances. I wasn't given the variances, so I had to first find them. I had standard deviations, so the male's variance was 16 because it came from 4. The female's variance was 9 because it came from 3. And I get 25. If I want the standard deviation of D, that's the square root of the variance. Variance is 25. Standard deviation is 5.